Well, good evening everybody. I'm Reverend Lex Bradley Stowe. I'd like to say first of all, I feel like a bit of a fraud because I'm an interloper, I don't live in Fritwell. But it has been wonderful to be here and just to hear all of the fab things that are going on in Fritwell. So thank you for having me here to speak on behalf of St Olaves Church. Now, who we are, can we have the slide? There is your beautiful church that you know well. There are 3 clergy at the moment who work across St Olaves, but also the 6 other churches around, part of the Charwell Valley Benefice. I am a curate, so I've been here since 2021. My boss, Helen Barnes, is the team rector. She would love to be with you this evening, but she's on holiday at the moment. So, we also have Reverend Andrew Foran, who is a retired priest. He's a retired prison chaplain, but he does a huge amount with us for somebody who is retired. And as of the end of February, beginning of March, we are going to have a new clergy member join us as well, who will be moving into the vicarage in Fritwell, in Forge Place. She's called Kath Cook, and she will be working with us a couple of days a week as well. So we will be, for a time, back up to a team of 4, which is really good. There is a service every Sunday in St Olaves, and they are at different times every Sunday. So there is a time that hopefully might suit everybody. So on the first Sunday of every month, there is an 11 AM morning prayer service. On the second Sunday, there is an 8:30 BCP service for people who like a more traditional service and an early service. We listened to feedback. People were asking for the 8:30 service to come back, so we put it back in the diary. On the third Sunday of the month, there is a 9:30 family communion, and then on the last Sunday of the month, we have an evening evensong service at 6 PM. So there is something for everybody, hopefully, throughout the month. Now, it has already been mentioned once this evening, the roof and the ceiling of the church are an ongoing issue. We realise they are an ongoing issue. So the roof needs to be repaired, but also the ceiling, where bits of plaster started to come down and we now have our net holding it up, they both need to be repaired, and that is a big job. And we realise it's a big job. And when you are working with buildings that are hundreds of years old, you need to have really specialised contractors that work on those things, and special heritage workers that come in, and builders that really know what they're doing with old buildings. So it's not just a matter of kind of going down to any builder that we know. We are currently awaiting quotes though from contractors who might be able to do this work. And to help us on our way, we've employed a fundraiser, who is a man who is a retired vicar, but has done lots of building projects with churches. So he knows the kinds of pots of money to apply for, and he knows how to write grants really well. So as it's already been said, we are a group of, our PCC is, yes, the clergy, but also a group of volunteers who don't have the time to be writing funding applications, and don't necessarily know where to ask for the money from. So we have employed our fundraiser, who is used to applying for grants for us. Lots of those grants will be fund matched as well. We know he's good, and Solden Church are also using him for some building work that they've got coming up as well. So, but obviously, any fundraising that is happening in the village will also, we will be trying to match that as well. So we will have kind of collections at services and things, and we will also try to be doing some more fundraising in the coming years, because we will be wanting to match the funding that we are getting from these grants that we're applying to. But the church, while beautiful, it is a beautiful building, but the church is so much more than the building itself. We want to maintain the really good community links that we have and build more community links. It's why it's so lovely to be here this evening and to be hearing about all of the things that are going on in the village, because we know that we are in a community that is wider than the church, and so we want to really make sure that those links are good. We have really good links with the school already. Obviously it's a Church of England school, and so Reverend Helen is one of the foundation governors there. The school come and use the church for their 3 big end of term services throughout the year, But we also are in the school once a week, every week, for one of their collective worships. So they see somebody from the church every week, which is a really lovely time. So the kids know us, which is a really nice thing. So when we had some of the Cubs and Scouts in church on Sunday for Remembrance, it was really nice to be able to see some of the kids that recognised me from school, so that's really nice. We also are blessed with a really beautiful churchyard, an outside space that is used by dog walkers and people walking through the churchyard every day, and it's really lovely to be able to say hello to them as we are going about some of the services that we're doing. A word on the churchyard. It's now being managed, the maintenance of the churchyard is now being managed by Cherwell District Council, which is something that can happen when a churchyard is closed. You can hand over the maintenance of the churchyard to the District Council.
Can you just explain what closed means? Because a lot of people here will not understand that.
So, the churchyard is closed in that it is full, basically. So, you have to get a churchyard closed, you have to get it done by an Act of Parliament, and basically you write to Parliament and say, our churchyard is full, we do not have any space to bury any more people, and they close it. And it was closed in 1996, am I right? Yeah. So since 1996, no full burials have happened in the churchyard. We can still do ash burials, which we do, but officially the ground around the church is closed. And so because of that, we can hand on the maintenance of that space to the District Council, and they will now be maintaining it, which is, we're so grateful for that, because the volunteer basis that we were working from of people who were maintaining the churchyard was small, and we are all ageing, but it was a massive job. It's a huge job to try and maintain that space, and so actually the fact that we've been able to pass that on to people who will be able to maintain it. It also means that if walls fall down, if trees come down, that is all being sorted by Cherwell District Council, which is a really, really good thing. Small upkeep on personal graves is obviously still, we welcome that for people who are maintaining their own personal family graves and things like that. But the big stuff will now be done by Cherwell District Council. We've already mentioned Christmas a couple of times, if I can have the next slide. And this is how hot off the press it is, because one of these bits of information is already wrong. We've got Christmas services coming up. So on Sunday the 17th of December in church, 5 p.m, there is the really nice traditional lessons and carols service. That will be lovely and warm and festive. This is the wrong thing. That is now Friday the 22nd, 6:30 to 8 p.m, which is a community event, but we will be there as well. Carols on the Green, which will be a lovely event to kind of get everybody together with mulled wine, I hear. There is a wet weather plan, which is also excellent. So that would be really lovely to see you there. We'll sort of do something for the first half hour, but it's a chance to sing together and feel Christmassy. And then on Christmas Eve, which I know for a lot of people that's their favourite service of the whole Christmas time, is 11:30 on Christmas Eve night. There's midnight mass, so if you want to see in Christmas and possibly get a glimpse of Santa as you go to bed, then that's the service for you. I think that's me done.